Talker, spoken wisdom. This is for everybody out here. You're going to have to choose a side. There's a line that's been drawn. You have to see that line for yourself. It's drawn for everybody differently based on where you at in your life and how you see what life is. Where do you live at? Are you in heaven or are you in hell? If there's people who think they're in heaven and there's no place for them to go or do, then guess what? There's no line for them to draw. Be content and be happy where you at. Okay? Because everybody's heaven. It's hell sometimes. And everybody's hell is somebody's heaven, so fairly to say. It's not for me to judge or anyone else to judge. That is for you to decide, and you alone. God gave you that. That's called free will. It's not even for your mom and dad. You may be living in heaven, and they think you're in hell, okay? But at the end of your day, you got to take that up with your true Father that gave you his spirit life. Because that very last life that you have, once man's life ended, guess what? That spirit life, that belongs to God. So you're going to have to draw that line. Are you going to be a child of man or are you going to be a child of God? What are you going to decide? You got to recognize, and you cannot take another man's sin to heaven. You don't want to do that. You cannot atone or answer for another man's sin. And when you know it's wrong, maybe the man in you want to admit, yeah, okay, I understand why he's doing that, why he's doing this. But if you know it's wrong within your spirit, the outside, the physical form in reality, everyday systems and laws and religion, reality, man has sold you their system. You pay to live in their system. Your spirit in its physical form as a human being, humanity. Humanity's system is flawed. It's a copy of the divine system. Okay, religion, man's religion is not God's religion. It's not him. It's what they want to control you with. That's the first form of control. And from religion, there were laws broken off to separate religion and laws. But they still both control of you. If you owe anything to Trump, he truly demolished religion. He does not believe in religion. This man literally do not think he's going to heaven. He knows he's not worthy of heaven. He just said it himself. The man, the way he held a Bible, he held it so uncomfortably. But yet y'all let this man lead you. These are tests from the Most High, Jesus. Jesus want to see your leadership. And if you accept the things your leader do, then that's part of you. You're going to have to atone for that. God's going to ask you, Jesus is going to ask you before he lets you through heaven's gate. He's going to ask you. You cannot lie. Jesus in his physical form, he's the leader of the spirit in you. That spirit follows him. It is embedded. No different than like your daddy want to control that seed in you. His blood, his last name. The Most High in heaven, that's where that spirit came from. When the Most High came to earth as Jesus, he didn't come as your God. He didn't even come as your father. He came as your brother because he wanted you to choose to follow your brother. And even though you see later on in life that he was leading you back to heaven's gate, no matter what you have done, no matter what you have done, as long as you admit to it, the sins of man, you have to admit to that. You cannot take the sins of man through heaven's gate. A lady goes through heaven, not a woman, because she has man in her. A man cannot go through heaven's gate. A gentleman can, but he can't even go as a gentleman. He has to let go of that man in him. And when he become gentle, that gentle is his mental. He's mentally and emotionally aware of himself. And he's going to admit to the physical ignorance of what man has done, because man is a physical creature. They lead by being physical with one another, by being ignorant to one another. They cannot admit to one another what is right and what is wrong. They'll let a man do what a man gonna do. As long as they don't fuck with them, nope, ain't me. That ain't my business. Okay, he ain't a Freeman. That's a Smith over there. That's a whatever over there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't me. We learn to separate ourselves through religion, through laws, through the sanctuary of marriage. I run my house this way. She's married to me. She got my last name. These are the ignorance of man. And when you submit to that ignorance, no man nor woman should be married in the eyes of God. And a man and woman is learning themselves. They both are stingy, selfish, and self-centered creature. Rightfully so. In the eyes of God, God will forgive you for that ignorance once you admit to it in your lady and gentleman form. As a man and woman step in front of heaven's gate, you're still going to hold on to some of your ignorance. Would you let something come into your home that holds on to ignorance of man over a gentleman, that holds on to the ignorance of a woman versus a lady? If you cannot understand it, it is so easy to cleanse your soul. Don't let that soul carry the sins of a man. Cleanse it and be cleansing it as a gentleman. So when you get to heaven's gate, you don't have to stay in purgatory so long till you atone for all your sins on earth. Do on the earth as you would do in heaven. So your past, everything in your past, remember your past. Don't live in your past. Remember your past. People are trying to take us back to the past. Remember your past. Live in your present. Plan for your future. Live in your present. Stop waiting for Jesus to come and save you. He was here. He was here. You allowed him to get killed. There are people afraid to step up to be a leader and to lead you the right way. Because doing something right, that's not the thing. You know, that doesn't get all the positive, the TikTok vibes and stuff. Doing something negative, that gets everybody's attention. We got this crazy president in the White House right now. White House. That's why it's okay for a man and woman to get married, because they go to the house. Isn't it time for return the White House into the home of the United States, where all the states come together as one and we make decisions for our people? We, the people, control that. We have to come up with a better system. We have to update the system. I cannot begin to tell you how many times God has given this message way before this started happening. Before Trump took into office, I came with a business called SLUT. S-L-U-T. Slaves living under the truth first. Then when Trump took on office, slaves living under Trump. Then when he left office, we back living under the truth. And it's not the real truth. Underneath heavenly truth, man's truth, not God's truth. We slave to the false truth, and that is the system of society, religion, laws, and the sanctuary of marriage. Because see, the sanctuary of it, you have to do what that man says do inside his house. He doesn't even respect it as a home. Because the person turns that house into a home is a woman. The woo of a woman, the womb, turns the house, kicks out the house in the house, and turn it into a home. If you cannot give her that credit, we are ignorant to the natural ways of society. But does that really baffle me? No. The energy y'all feel within me when y'all walk by me, around me, y'all feel y'all intimidated by it, you're attracted to it, you're angry with it. That is your spirit trying to help your seed and you figure what it is about me. Hey, I have to ignore it. Because some people turn it bad. Okay, just because of my physical look. Because society is programming you to a large bald-headed black man. We are like Darth Vaders of society. We are Darth Vaders of society. Every time I walk somewhere, any old white woman, it's like a line mine. Serious, it's like a living live mine right there. Is she gonna explode on me and just make me look like the bad person? I'm a big man first and foremost. Then I'm black. Are they just gonna explode on me, make me look like I'm the bad one? And then I have to keep walking. If I choose to ignore, I see everything. I'm an empath. I don't have to look at you to see you. I feel you. And if I choose to ignore you, that's sometimes the worst thing in the world to do. Things that want attention, you better pay attention to it. If not, think about how they will act. This is here the spiritual level of understanding humanity. Once you learn how to see humanity in its seed form, the seed of man, the egg of a woman, once you learn how to see that, you can live your world. Me, as a gentleman, I live inside a world of man. Men are such simple-minded creatures. Women, when you are stuck in your man stage and your woman stage, the only thing I do is remember the past. Because y'all imitating and emulating something that's already been done over and over and over and over again. That's insanity. Doing it again, expecting a different outcome. The definition of insane. You're doing something that has been done because you only done it once. Don't mean it hasn't been done. To live as a woman has been repeated so many times. The story on TikToks, every subject is about a man and a woman, man and a woman, man and a woman, man and a woman. Listen how many times I say that. Tell me how many stories you find about a lady and a gentleman. It's a boring subject. You know why? There ain't too many subjects out there. Ain't too many complaints out there. Okay? And most of them don't know what a real lady is or what a real gentleman is. So we are lost creatures that's lost in man's society. Man has promoted man so much because that's the child of man. That's why he marry you off as a man and a woman. But listen, no one will ever let a man inside their home when they have a gentleman to choose between. If a male comes to your house, how should he come in your home? Like a man or a gentleman? If a female comes to your house, how should she come in your home? Like a woman or a lady? And if you're going to say a lady and a gentleman, then why are we even talking about a man or woman? We won't let them inside our home. Why are we getting married as a man and a woman when we won't let one inside our home? Do you see the insanity of that? Can you? Seriously. I sit there, I look at the guy, I tell God every day, they don't get it. They stuck on the, that's why the child of man has kidnapped God's child. Man has kidnapped God's child. Every system, religion, is the kidnapping of God's child. The laws, the kidnapping of God's child. The medical, the allowing this to happen and change. Do you understand? Transgenders. I don't mean no disrespect. I love the spirit in you. Your physical form, it's none of my motherfucking business. That's what man is allowing you to do to yourself. But your spirit, when it goes to heaven, you better choose. Are you an angel or are you a goddess? God might not even care what you have done to man's child, changing it, cutting it, snipping it, cut it, tuck it, whatever you may be doing to it. He may be laughing his ass off up there. But you better get it straight when you go to heaven's gate. That's all I'm trying to say. You better live as an angel and don't hurt none of God's children. When you hurt the child of man, you hurt the child of God, because that child is innocent. Now, man don't think his child innocent. That's why man does the ignorant things he do to children. Come on. We have a president in office. Y'all see the videos. And if y'all still support a man that has done that type of ignorance to a child, then you got to go to heaven. You're going to have to ask. God going to ask you about that. Jesus is going to ask. If you knew somebody was coming to your house and they just left another person's house that do that to children, and they want to come into your house and come in your home, you'll be a fucking fool. Seriously. Allow your daughters to go work for Trump. If you're doing that, you are sacrificing your child to the devil. The ignorance he has said and displayed right in front of you, that's the one thing I have to appreciate Trump. I really do. Because I just hate hidden racism. I got so many YT friends. I love y'all. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? But hey, how many times have I come over to your house and ate dinner? Okay? How many times have we sit down and really done anything? So no, that's not me. You know, if you cannot have a decent conversation, then you don't know me. How many times have you asked me about my children? And they ain't even my children. I'm nothing but a babysitter of God's children. I did a hell of a job. So my point is, ready? Real talk. I still love you as a child of God. That's when you come at me like a gentleman. That's when you come at me like a lady. A man or woman, you can kiss my fucking ass. I'm being dead serious. And y'all feel that about my energy. So when you feel that, that means that's that man in you and that woman in you. You're intimidated by that. Oh, it's a lot of beautiful motherfucking women out. Don't get it twisted. Every bit of man in me, I have lived every man that possible be. I've been many, many different men. For many, many different reasons. Then I asked God, what's greater than a man, God? I said, what's greater than a man? He's not the child of man. I said, what you mean by that? See, man's child. Man, your father on earth is a man. He raised his son to be a man outside that house. He gonna act like a gentleman inside a home. And I got to see that 6 different times from 6 different men. The way they act outside and the way they come inside. Outside voice, inside voice. The rules they told me, I learned how to separate. You have your outside rules, you have your inside rules. And we cannot see that. We display that. And guess who runs that home? Mama runs the home. Daddy runs the house. Mama runs the home. Guess where I want to be? Nobody likes going to the house. But everybody loves going home. If you cannot separate it, I repeated that. That's foster care. That was my military style of living. Okay, I learned how to suppress my love, my miss, my wants, my aches. Being scared of the boogeyman. Me crawling my mama's bed or my daddy's bed to protect me. When you got 10 foster brothers, 6 foster sisters, okay, they don't got enough time for that. You got to toughen out. You can't be scared because they're going to pick on you. Just as much I love my foster brothers and my foster sisters, I hate them just as much. We fought. We are real brothers and sisters. I come to realize blood don't make you family. What makes you family is who you know yourself to be within that person. I got so many foster brothers and foster sisters, and I know myself, each and every one of them. I look at myself, I can see myself at that age that I knew them then. But my biological family, guess what? We throw hands up. We don't get to know each other. We don't sit down and break bread in each other's homes. We barely go in each other's garages. That's our thing. Black people love hanging on the garages. We are our king in our own castle. That's why you know who runs the home. Because guess what? And especially my bloodline, every male in my bloodline is a gentleman. In the streets, we act like a man. But in our hearts, we gentlemen. I know that. And guess what? Ready? They know who runs the home. They know who runs the home. My sisters, they got to stop trying to live The YT woman's world. They can't be bitching at us about white man's problems, okay? If white man got problems with, we're going to have problems with them too. We got problems white man don't got, but you want to come at us like you want to be little princess whoever, okay? That shit ain't real. If you date a black man, you date a black man for the black man who he is and what he can get done. And the things he can't get done, you help him get it done. Because this is the battle we fighting out here. Okay, it's modern day slavery. Modern day slavery, the same shit going on. We up here buying and paying for wars to get land so Trump can go build resorts over in somebody else's country. Eventually, we're gonna have a America over in wherever the fuck, okay? Ukraine, okay? How the hell did America get over in Ukraine? Because we paid so much money for the missiles we sent over there and all that stuff. It's modern day slavery. Conquering. They having a no king march up there. They already arrested people for being outside ISIS. ISIS is nothing but the modern day KKK skinheads. Updated suits that's been promoted and signed in by the president of the United States. We have the Grand Marshal, whoever the hell the KK thing is, that runs the president. And if he don't run it, you better believe they got a red line to the president of the United States. That's my honest belief. We living in this world. Do you understand that? They sold us Christianity. They sold us a bunch of different flavors of religions, just like they did the NFL teams, NBA team. They sold us who you want to buy the trinket and stuff. God sit there and say he don't do trinkets, symbolism, stuff of that nature. God is inside you. The God they want outside you, the books, that is their God. That is not our God. Your God is inside you. Your religion is inside you. Your religion is your thoughts and your conversations that you have with God. What comes of that conversation is called wisdom. When you learn to speak the wisdom that you receive from God, then you speak the living word of God. Speak your truth. Understand that. That's inside you. Your job, your free will. Are you going to use God's spirit positive? Or are you going to use it negative on behalf of man? Because if you're doing something on behalf of man, then you're not living the truth of God. And guess who's going to know that? Because your power doesn't come from the seed of your father. Does not matter. Does not come from your mother. Your mother was misled by man. So even still, we can't blame everything on our mothers. Because she tried to follow the leadership of man, and man has misled her. Man has told her she ain't smart enough to be the president of the United States. But yet she makes a house into a home. All right? But yet God gave her wisdom. Also, he gave her strength. Her strength in her is only 10%. But it's times by that wisdom. She got 100% wisdom, and we don't get wisdom until we become a gentleman. Her fee of her female, her woo of her woman is her mental and emotional. That male and man in her, that is her physical. She is a creature of two. She is the fee in the male, mental, emotional, and the physical. She is the woo and the man, the mental and the physical. Mental, emotional, and the physical. She is a creature. We do not become a creature of two until we become a gentle man. And that gentleness is the mentalness and emotionalness. We don't become truly aware of ourselves until our final stage as a gentleman, but we can. That it really doesn't matter at a certain age. You can choose to act like a gentleman and still be part man, gentle man. You're going to have to take a mental and emotional perspective of looking at things in that way. You can't just not make a decision, not care. You have to take in consideration of others' mental, emotional capacity. And if you can't do that, yes, there is a problem. Spirit Talker. Have a blessed day. Spirit Talker. Spoken wisdom. I want you to understand this. The more you play in the system, the more you program by the system. The more you're going to believe in a system, and the further away it takes you away from God. Recognize the system. Remember how the system affected you. That's what history is about. Okay, as I told my kids, they didn't want to learn history because it's the past. I said, yes. Learn somebody else's past, see how it affects their present, and then plan for the future. Don't do what they do. And you have to see the ignorance of the system. Everybody can accept the good. It's the bad. And if you see that bad, you can't accept that. You have to deny that. What did God do when he seen the devil inside of heaven? He kicked him out. You have to kick that bad out. The system is bad. I'm not saying we don't need a system, but we got to revamp, update. We update our phones. We update our cars. We update everything. But come on, we haven't update our system, religion. They got so many different religions out there, so many different sports teams, basketball teams, soccer teams. They all the same. They separate us. One thing we need to do, become a united body. The body should be talking about one religion, okay? One God. One God. The Spirit got inside you, and we all come and put down what we feel that our spirits is telling us how to live by. That is the divine word. And we pick out the best one, the ones that's the most popular, and we put down whatever we deciding to do. That is we the people. We the Spirit. Live by Spirit. Ask the question on TikTok. The President of the United States said, come on. I'm not saying he's wrong. He's good. He's the devil, though. He's doing wrong by Spirit. And if you can't live by Spirit right, you gotta make that decision. I do not accept other people's ignorance and they're wrong. I am a Libra. When I see you want to be wrong, I'll just step aside. I keep it moving. I'm not here to fix anyone else. I try to tell God, but again, ready? These videos is me to put my word out there. Me trying to stand there and tell you, one individual, you're wrong. That's not for me to judge. You got to judge yourself. I'm judging myself. I do right by me. I do right by me, and anything that come in my life to make me feel wrong, you better get the fuck out of my life. Excuse the language, but it is what it is. I don't even have to say it. People sense it. And if they know they can come around me and they're going to do wrong by me, with me, around me, they know not to step to me. So there ain't nothing I got to fix about myself. I'm good being alone. When I come to realize I could never be alone, because my thoughts are conversation with me and God, and I'm trying to keep them right for him, not for man. I know what I can do as a man. I lived a good man's life. Trust me. I lived a good man's life. People respect me as a man. I just didn't respect myself as a man because some of the shit I felt inside, it wasn't right. I didn't want to be that man. So you got to understand that. You got to judge your man, your woman for yourself, not what others say. Because others will tell you what you want to hear. It's not what that. You got to know what you need to hear. Because it's right for you. It may be wrong for everybody else. And if you're being wrong, but it's right for you, then you got to look at it. How will God look at it? Fuck everybody else. How would God look at it? What are you doing that is so wrong to everybody else? But even though it's right for you, I'm not saying you're wrong. You got to figure out if you're right or you're wrong. So guess what I say? Ask Jesus. Ask Jesus. Am I wrong for feeling this way? Am I wrong for being this way? If Jesus said, no, you're right. Guess what? Fuck everybody else. Fuck everybody else. Okay? That question lies with you and Jesus at the end of the day. Okay? Don't be doing what's trending out there, what everybody else says out there. I feel bad for so many men that want to become a woman. Listen to me. Listen to me. Until you bleed for 7 days, carry a child for 40 weeks, and live through a birth, you ain't no woman. The womb of a woman is her womb. The feed of a female is the flesh that feeds the fetus. Become a lady. The lady is the behavior. Be a child of God. I'm just saying, God, when God says man should not lie with man, I don't think it meant man and woman. That's why man took it out of there. It really meant man should not lie with woman. And God never thought about us lying with another man. He never thought that because, the innie, outie, all that bullshit goes in where it's supposed to go and be where it's supposed to be. Hello. God is a hell of an engineer. We got to stop disrespecting what he designed. You understand it? And literally, it's written in our spirit. The spirit will shape you to what you're supposed to be. Now, if you grow in a vagina and you're not getting it cut off, then guess what? But yet you started with a penis and it turned into a vagina. I mean, your penis head turned into a clitoris and you opened up the part, underneath your what spectrum or rectum is, opened up and part of the seas and you got a hole inside. If you transcending that way, that's a transcending gender, not a transgender, transcending gender. A transgender is when a man transcend you, cut you, do all that shit. I'm sorry to say, no, I can't agree with that. But then again, it's none of my business because I ain't doing it. Okay, but I'm a messenger of God, so I don't know if you got your message in that. I don't even know. I never looked it up, never want to look it up. I don't believe in a big booty girl. Okay, a BBL. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay. I mean, some of them transgender, they catch you off in the moment. When you film and realize they're a motherfucking transgender, piss you off. Then when you come and find out that girl, her BBL ain't all hers, I mean, that pisses me the fuck off. Seriously. I know what a good pair of titties is. Paid for, and a real expensive pair of titties. But guess what? They're not real titties. Okay? You got to see what that spirit does with you. If God wants you to be a BBL, he will make sure that spirit make that bitch a BBL. And he has some natural BBLs around here. Okay? He designed them for what they were built for. They need to figure out what the fuck are y'all built for. Not for man, but for God. You're a goddess on earth. You will have the spirit of God that lives inside you when you give birth to his child before man's child. You will give birth to God's child before man's child. Live in the eyes of God. He gave you his first name. Man is only going to give you his last name. Then try to charge you 50-50. He don't respect the fact that you bleed for 7 days, carry a child for 40 weeks, and live through a birth. Y'all celebrate the DOB, the date of birth on earth. What the fuck did that got to do with you? The DOB has nothing to do with the mother or that child. The date of birth on earth, only thing that means is when a man becomes a father. And they've been poorly at that. I'm a man that was a father. I was. There's some things I could have done better. I have to admit to that. I have to admit that in front of God. God asked me, because you've been about, yes, I could have done. I could have changed more diapers. It's times I heard a kid crying, I flipped back over. Okay, it's times I could have made it home a lot sooner and cooked dinner. Okay, living as a husband, a man husband. But I was ignorant. I didn't know it was the difference between a man husband and a gentleman husband. I knew I'd portray the behaviors of a gentleman going inside my home, make my children respect our mother. I sat there and said, no, she running home. She make this mother feel comfy. And my divorce, me going through my divorce, I would have never grew because I was stuck in a man's marriage. I was married to a woman. My ex-wife was never a lady. She was a woman. She a Taurus. Okay? She loved that thug in me. She loved that beast in me. Okay? And I liked her for loving that about me. But at the end of the day, is that what I want God to love about me? Like about me? Come on. You got to keep it real. The way man see me is not the way I want God to see me. You got to understand, how do you want to be seen? I am that soldier. Oh man will see me. They love me as a soldier. I've made money off of my physical looks, security, investigation, bill bonds, bounty hunting, okay, whatever you call it, okay? I've done mine. I grew up, I had 6 fathers that raised different men in me. Each man is different. What the father raised in me versus what this father raised in me, his belief versus his belief, they're all different beliefs. And each one of them, I sat there like, damn, and I put them all together. There's a lot of them the same. They're not aware of it. I am. I'm aware. That's why most men can't even understand me or read me. Because I already know what kind of man raised them and what they're emulating and imitating from their fathers. I gave up on trying to be the man for this father, the man for that father. And guess what? They loved me as a son. I was that pit bull son. I really was. I was that son. They loved pitting them up against any other son. But then again, guess what? Except their own child. I learned the difference between a foster child and a biological child. We did the same doggone crime. We fought, we stole, we lied. But why is his whooping not as hard as mine? Aren't we all the son? Oh, that's your seed son. I'm just the foster son. So, but, you know, one father we all have in common is God. Do you see that? God was always with me. My dad was never around. Okay. I don't know my seed father like that. I seen pictures of him, scared the shit out of me that I knew he was my father. Yeah. I look just like him. I can't deny that. I feel just like him. Still don't know why I fell in love with my mama. But it's that man and woman thing, and she all goody good over him. I had to tell her, you know the man dead, right? Okay. But I love my father. I'm glad him and my mother met and hooked up, because if not, I would not be here. But I cannot hold my father nor my mother for my trials and tribulation I went through. They were designed by Jesus. And God gave me a spirit and told me, even if I cannot believe in my father's seed, I cannot blame my mother's egg. I have to thank her for the life that she has carried along for me to be on earth. I can believe in the Spirit of God, and I have always believed in the Spirit of God. Every fight, every home, every group home I went in, guess who? Well, guess what? Father was always there with me. God. My one foster father, Reverend Nathaniel Garrison, he told me the biggest house of sin is the church. And it's some of the stuff the church do, but yet we're not allowed to say that. They even program you with the systems of society that it's wrong for you to speak up against your religion. Y'all allow y'all children to go to churches and stuff happen to them, your children inside churches, and you still take them back and forth, and people wonder why you accept President Donald Trump. When you take your child and make him an altar boy, and you hear, when you make your child a Boy Scout, and you hear what's going on, and who are the ones that's running them big Christian things? Who are the ones that's running them? Okay, I know the truth. I know. Like I try to tell people, society is like chess. You got the white pieces and the black pieces, and I have to admit, the white piece won. We have to follow the white laws and white society and religion and laws. They sold us a big package. It's a complete vacation package. It comes with religion. It comes with laws. And you also get married. And all that follows the laws of the land. The laws of the white pieces, okay? And right now, we got to draw a line somewhere. We have to draw a line and make a decision. What side are you going to stand on, man's side or heaven's side? Are you going to be a man? Or are you going to be a gentleman, respectful to others? Doing to others as you want others to do unto you. See, I'm not saying don't believe everything in the book. I'm not saying don't believe the Bible. Don't believe everything you read. Believe what you sense. That what you sense is God speaking to you. He'll identify the things that's a lie. You got to be willing to listen. Listen in your thoughts. Listening to your thoughts is thinking about it. Questioning God. Don't question me. Don't question him, her. Question within you. Ask God over and over and make a decision, your free will with your choice of your spirit. Do you do positive with it? Do unto others? Or do you do negative with it? Okay? Do unto others. Okay? Do you understand? Do you understand the difference? If you're going to do to them, make sure whatever you do to them, that you're willing to have them do that back to you. If you're going to do unto them, okay, that's usually you ain't going to want them to do it back to you. And you got to choose what free will are you going to do. And you can't, it regards what everybody else may look like it done in society. That don't mean shit. Everybody think you could have done right. But if God told you to do left and you chose to do right because man said it was right and God didn't say it was right, he told you left, you got to answer for that at the heaven's gates. Understand that. Have a blessed day. Spirit Talker. Spirit Talker, spoken wisdom. Society, system, sins. The sins of society. Do you understand? Listen to me. If they are starting to clone people, really mutate people in a petri dish without the Spirit of God in it, is that what we've been doing? Is that what YT society is? And I don't mean to disrespect nobody. I am trying to be honest because I believe if you choose to receive the Spirit of God in you and admit to the ignorance of man and the ways of man and not play a blind eye to it, you can save yourself. Okay? You can save yourself. But you can't sit there and not play blind to it. Blind religion, blind laws, blind marriage, and not question something when you know it's wrong. When you don't question, that's the Spirit of God telling you it's wrong. And you need to sit there and question it. If you choose to play blind eye to it, blind ear, you know, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, okay? Because anything your spirit speaks is considered evil against the system. Do you understand that? If you speak against the system, it's evil. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. That is your spirit. You're suppressing your spirit in yourself. Never suppress that spirit. That is a sin against God. The spirit life, the life that you have, that gives the seed of man and the egg of a woman life to grow, to mutate within the womb of a woman. If it is not grown in the womb of a woman, and it has not ate from the flesh of a female, and it's been grown in a petri dish, changed by man's medicines, man's surgery. Yes, you have the skills that is given to you by the Spirit of God, but honestly, it's a sin, isn't it? Have a blessed day. Spirit Talker. By spirit, what that means, everything you do, you think the spirit inside you. You think the life that God gave you, and that is his spirit life, okay? You think that life. That's living by spirit. To live by man is do what man wants you to do, and to ignore the spirit within you. That is a sin of God. To anything you ignore of God is a sin to the spirit. And that is the stress, the pressure you carry on your soul that makes the seed breaks down, makes the egg breaks down, makes the human being in you breaks down, the wear and tear. Because guess what? When that soul got so much sin on it, the spirit can't heal the flesh. The spirit can't heal the flesh because it becomes like a shell that's protecting you from the sins of man. And what can't get in, that means spirit can't get out. That's a sin. I understand that. So don't carry another man's sin because you have your own sin. And to cleanse that, to break that shell down in you, you have to admit to the ignorance of man, the ways of man. You cannot accept the ways of man and say that's the ways of God. You cannot pit this. Come on. What in the name of religion, some of the things religion has done, that is a sin by saying that God was okay with it. To hang bodies in trees and being your Sunday best, to drag people behind the car, to stomp on babies, to gator bait. The ignorance, what you do, to take black babies and feed them and use it as gator bait. These are real terminology and trinkets that's built down south, still selling today. Gator bait. Look it up what gator bait is. Gator bait. Look it up on the internet. The Confederates, the stuff y'all do to other human beings, and the YT creatures, the mutation. You cannot survive without us in any form, in the most natural form. You cannot survive. Your race cannot survive by itself. You're gonna look. Oh my, spirit talker, spoken wisdom. Listen to me. This to all my sisters and brothers out there, the spirit children of God, ladies and gentlemen. We are at a point in time in our life. There's a spiritual revolution going on. Man is trying to stop and suppress the revolution. This is what's going on with the National Guard. They're trying to intimidate you. They're trying to suppress you. They're taking the books off the shelves. They're taking history away because they don't want your spirits to be awakened to the sins of man. The sins of man. So they want you to have that knowledge so you can make a decision, because it's the ignorance of man that makes us feel our spirits. It's a weight that we feel on it, that we know is wrong. They want to keep you blind to their religion, their laws, okay, and the way their marriages. They don't want you to question it. It's wrong for you to question it. And if you question it, you're an enemy within the state. You're an enemy of the state. If you question religion, they're trying to make you feel like you bad to God. No, questioning something is having a conversation with God, thinking about the thoughts that you have. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. It's not for you to question or ask another man for the answer. Man has lied. Man has misled you. Leave the spirit in God inside you. That's all you need. And when you learn to listen, then you learn to justify the gentleman in you, the lady in you. Man is ignorant. Have a blessed day. Spirit talker, spoken wisdom. Listen to me. This to all my sisters and brothers out there, the spirit children of God, ladies and gentlemen. We are at a point in time in our life. There's a spiritual revolution going on. Man is trying to stop and suppress the revolution. This is what's going on with the National Guard. They're trying to intimidate you. They're trying to suppress you. They're taking the books off the shelves. They're taking history away because they don't want your spirits to be awakened to the sins of man. The sins of man. So they want you to have that knowledge so you can make a decision, because it's the ignorance of man that makes us feel our spirits. It's a weight that we feel on it, that we know is wrong. They want to keep you blind to their religion, their laws, okay, and the way their marriages. They don't want you to question it. It's wrong for you to question it. And if you question it, you're an enemy within the state. You're an enemy of the state. If you question religion, they're trying to make you feel like you bad to God. No, questioning something is having a conversation with God, thinking about the thoughts that you have. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. It's not for you to question or ask another man for the answer. Man has lied. Man has misled you. Leave the spirit in God inside you. That's all you need. And when you learn to listen, then you learn to justify the gentleman in you, the lady in you. Man is ignorant. Have a blessed day. Spirit talker, spoken wisdom. Let's do some brainstorming here. Let's see if we can relate to this, if we can comprehend this. Imagine cloning a human being. Imagine that man can bring the seed of man and the egg of woman to life without the spirit of God. Because by the grace of God, that's why we have life, because he chose that seed and that egg at that moment in time. But let's say, for instance, man has found a way to do that. See, to put a seed and an egg together inside a womb of a woman, that's one thing. Okay, because the Spirit of God is going to grow it for 40 weeks. Okay? But to grow something in a petri dish and take it and create a false womb, God has no connection to that. And nothing that has a connection to the Spirit of God, would you really want to deal with it? And something that denies the Spirit of God, that connection that it has with God, do you want to deal with it? See, I can't believe everything my father's seed is because he didn't teach me everything. I thank him for the seed. I can't blame everything on my mother. I thank her for bringing me to earth. Okay? Nor can I blame the Spirit of God because God gave me free will to choose on my own. And after a certain point in time, my biological father is going to tell me it's my decision. I have to make that choice. So the only person I can truly blame is me if I don't choose right. That is my trials. In the tribulation, what I learned from that is mine and mine alone to endure and to understand and to comprehend. And I thank God for giving me the wisdom to understand when I think about what I go through, that he's always been there for me. In every moment in thought and every scary moment in time, and for every butt whooping I received, my Father in heaven has always been there for me. Not my Father on earth, and I'm not mad at him for that. When I understand the systems and the laws of man and the marriage of man, it was stacked against my Father. It was stacked against him. And if I cannot be humble enough and graceful enough to understand the things he went through, then how ignorant am I of a man? I'm not going to take judgment on him. That's not mine. He has to take that up with Jesus. I thank him for hooking up with my mom. Hey, whatever's between them, that's between them. I thank him. But understand that. Happy Sweeties Day, right? This is all to my brothers out there. And this is a little advice to all the women and ladies out there. This is an opportunity for you to curb your man's behavior into a gentleman. When you go buy him a gift, there's two types of gifts you can be buying. You can buy a gift for a man, or you can buy a gift for a gentleman. This is Sweeties Day. How do you want to be treated? You want to be treated tough? That means he will fuck you. Or do you want to be treated gentle? That means he will love you. The same positions in fucking are the same position in loving. Doggy style is doggy style. The only thing you got to do is change your words and change the outcome. Instead of using man words, the man's vocabulary, I'm going to fuck you. I'm going to do the flying fist fuck from the door jamb of the bedroom and fist pound you, put my foot in it, smash it. Them are sweet words. Them are man words. So to me, Sweeties Day, that's a gentleman's day. And that is a lady choosing a gift for her gentleman. See, a woman expects a man to take care of her Valentine's Day, to win her heart. Okay, and a lady chooses what's worthy of her, and she go choose it and serve it for what part she wants to bring out in him. Does she want to bring the tough out in him or the gentleness in him? Think about it. Enjoy the Sweeties Day. You are the power of persuasion, the power of passion. Do you want fuck passion or do you want love passion? What vocabulary do you want to be used on you? A man's vocabulary will bring out the woman in you. A gentleman's vocabulary will bring out the lady in you. The question is, who do you want to be on his Sweeties Day? See, a woman, she's a freak in the streets and in the sheets. A lady, which every man desires a lady, but he got to realize he got to become a gentleman to get a lady. She's a lady in the streets, only a freak in the sheets for him. She has his loyalty. What do you want to be for him? Happy Sweeties Day. Sweeties Day. The forbidden fruit. The forbidden fruit is a bitter fruit. It's tough. It's not ripe yet. Only the fruit of a lady is ripe. And it's going to be gentle for a gentleman. A woman's fruit is bitter. It's forbidden. It's tough. She got man in her. So on Sweeties Day, what kind of fruit do you want, gentlemen? Men? Do you want that tough fruit that you got to fuck it, step on it, smash it to make it feel soft? Or do you want that gentle fruit that's so juicy and ripe that before you even bite it, your lips crunch? It's juicing on your lips. Okay? You don't even got to sink. I mean, you just gonna, it melts in your mouth. It's that juicy, creamy peach. You okay? That's that ripe fruit. That's when it's ripe. You understand that? So on Sweeties Day, identify what kind of fruit you want. And make sure you pick it when it's ripe. Spirit talker. Spoken wisdom. Let's talk about marriage. Man's marriage and a gentleman's marriage. And a gentleman's marriage to a lady doesn't have to be done by a piece of paper. As long as you honoring your oath to God, that is a marriage. Any woman, any female, any goddess that comes in your life, your job is to treat her like a lady, the daughter of God. And remember that she's a goddess in the eyes of God. And it does not matter if her child is not yours. Your job is to parent any child of God's, not hers, any child of God. Every child belongs to God. So parent God's child, not one man to another man. I don't want to parent another man's child. And that's what I'm saying. I ain't the daddy, I ain't the right, but that's a man's father. A gentleman father, he's a gentleman to all of them. He's a father to all of them as he wants his father to be to him. He know his father in heaven got many children. He still wants his father to father him as a child of his. That's like written in our DNA. If you never said it, I promise you feel it. So a gentleman father is the correct father. And you want to make sure you are that father. So your job is to parent any child of God's. Provide for a lady. You don't got to provide for a woman. That's why we say 50-50. That's what we expect them to do, because we do not care about her motherhood. That's why she's more impressed to being a mother to God's child than she is to man's child, because man has never showed her the respect that she is owed for bringing life to earth. Without her, there would not be life on earth. And a man has yet to respect that. We will send our children off to fight ignorant wars of Donald Trump's. We will use our children to fight the ignorance of law of man. Man's marriage is ignorant. You take my last name, you obey, you submit to me. I can beat you. You don't come in my home, in my house, and tell me what I can do to my wife, my children. That's the ignorance of man. Man has lived that and been that. It's written in history. So the marriage in the eyes of God is not to treat the lady like a piece of fruit, the forbidden fruit, because it's not right. Anytime you take her as a woman, you are a child of man. But if you take her as a gentleman and you allow her to choose you because you are worthy of her mentally, emotionally, and she gonna reward you with heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is between the legs of a goddess. Now you have earned that way in, and she feel that you have provided that foundation of the 3 P's. She trusts that you will parent any child. You provide for her, and you will protect her. That's a child of God. Now you can't yank that from her, because that's the devil in sheep's clothing. You can't give it to her 1 minute and take the next minute. You got to be that gentleman, not for her, but for God. You can't take something back from God, can you? Spirit talker. Understand the marriage of man and understand the marriage to God is to honor your oath to God. The 3 P's. I will parent, I will provide and I will protect for the daughter of God as long as she acts like a lady, as long as you are being a gentleman. You will only bring out the lady in her is when you put the gentleness before your man and be a gentleman with her. And then she will let her guard down. She'll let that man down, but you got to show her the foundation that you will honor the 3 P's. And don't just do it for her. Your history will say that's what you've been looking for. And God will send you his goddess, his daughter in her goddess form as a lady. When you deal with the woman, that means God don't feel that you've been acting like a gentleman. So you're going to have a lot of pain, agony, and stress dealing with the child of man. Because God will not give you his daughter in her lady stage. God will not give you his daughter in her lady stage. You cannot have the child of God if you're not going to be a gentleman first. You have to choose that. Your free will is choose to become a gentleman. And when God sees you act and you portray that mentality, the vocabulary, the mannerisms of a gentleman, then he will send you a goddess, his daughter, and her lady stage. Understand that. Spirit talker. Spirit talker. Spoken wisdom. This message to all the goddesses out there in her female, girl, woman, lady stage and form. You got to understand this. You cannot allow the devil to spoil the fruit. You cannot allow the devil to allow the fruit to rotten. The devil is the man. God gave you enough man in you so you will never need, want, or ask for one. That is forbidden for you to ask for something you already have. You have to believe in the man that you have within your woman and know that's all the man that you will ever need. And when you believe in your man and you know and trust that man, don't become a woo man. Don't suppress that woo in you. You don't have to marry a man to have a child for the God. You just got to raise that child in the eyes of God. God sees you as a goddess. And the closest thing on earth to a goddess is a lady. God sees his son as an angel. The closest thing on earth to an angel is a gentleman. So you raise that gentleman. You raise the daughter to be a woman outside a house. But you show her only thing that goes inside a home is a lady. A lady runs the home. And she has that woo to make the house into a home. You explain her roles. And not for a man, for herself and God. She has to prepare her house and turn it into a home for the child of God to come there. He gave her that. That's embedded in her. God gave her creation. You give a woman a lemon, she makes lemonade. That is what a man is. A man is a lemon. You turn him into a gentleman by forbidding him to taste your fruit. And this lady in this woman form, that's the lemon. It's bitter. It's not ripe. Once he learns to act gentle with you and sweet with you, happy Sweeties Day. Long as he learns how to act that way, that fruit will become ripe and you will become his lady. Understand that. Understand that manifestation. Do not settle. Find a man, but you should not have to share yourself with a man. Do not let man inside your heaven. Anything that wants to fuck you should not go inside the gates of heaven. And gates of heaven on earth is between the legs of a goddess. Understand that. A man will F you. A gentleman will love you. He will show you what your cosmo orgasm is. And when you truly make that connection, that full connection, it become a cosmic orgasm. And that's an orgasm between a goddess and an angel. And that was given to God, by you, to you by God, through that grace of an angel. Angels are servants of God and the goddess. Allow an angel to serve you in his gentleman stage. Have a blessed day.
There are 2 H's in our world, heaven and hell. When God kicked the devil out of heaven, he kicked him into hell. But the biggest trick the devil ever played was changing hell into earth. Do not get content on earth, for you must remember this is hell. Your journey back to heaven is the proof you show God, proof that you believe in the child of God and not the child of man. Your trials and tribulations will be lived through your man and woman stage, and you will come to realize this truth. Your tribulation reveals that a lady and a gentleman are a child of God. Man's religion, laws, and marriage are merely an image of man, a cheap copy of the divine laws that honor God in heaven. As we descend to earth, our marriage is to honor our oath on earth as we would in heaven. A goddess embodies the 3 L's, laboring for God, bringing life to earth, loving by 2 parents. An angel embodies the 3 P's, parenting any child of God, providing for the goddess and God's child, protecting the goddess in her lady stage and the child of God. To speak another man's truth is to speak a lie. The truth from your spirit within you is your spiritual truth, the only truth you need to speak. Man will mislead you. Only God will speak to you within your thoughts and your spirit. Your free will is your choice to use the spirit of God. Will you choose positive or negative? Will you be a child of God, or will we be the children of the devil? The spirit lives inside the brain. The mind is the communication between you and God, the language of thought. The soul lives inside your emotions and your flesh. That is the physical form. The least important, the seed and egg of man and woman, the house. It is the soul house. The spirit understands your true manifestation. When you go brain dead, you are dead. The spirit has left the temple, your crown. So speak your spirit's truth. God will speak into them what He needs for them to receive from the message. Spirit Talker. Religion has created the devil's playground. Sunday best bodies hanging high in trees, is that? God's or the devil's religion, no churches or trinkets. God created only 2 genders. Masculine angels who descend as men on earth, and divine goddesses who descend as women. In defiance, the devil created a 3rd gender, the transgender, using man's religion, man's laws, and man's marriage. Married by man or blessed by God. This is why the Most High will not bless a marriage between 2 men or 2 women. True marriage is solely between a man and a woman, based on man. God will only bless the union of a lady and a gentleman, as this is the proper foundation for humanity's truest commitment. Be original, stop copying everyone else. Copy is a lie of the original truth. If you cannot speak the original truth, you yourself become the lie, the devil in sheep's clothing. Anything built on a lie is bound to collapse. For a weak foundation starts with a falsehood. It is all a lie. Do the work. Speak the original truth and it will set you free. Speak with the Spirit, not from the seed of man, for man has lied. Man's religions, laws, and marriage sanctuaries are merely that a flawed copy of divine religion, divine laws, and the true marriage between a lady and a gentleman. Do the work. Until we live rightly by God, we live a lie crafted by man and the devil. Remember the devil's greatest trick. He made hell into earth. We must see what is right and learn to do, on earth as we would in heaven. Spirit Talker. Spirit Talker. Invocation. To the goddess and angels, children of the Most High, hear this truth now. We walk this earth with a sacred purpose, a 3-fold path. The first cycle, labor and parent. The first law is to labor, to work not just for self, but for God and for all of humanity. The first practice is to parent, to see every soul you meet as a spirit child of the divine, and to hold them as your own. The second cycle, bring life and provide. The second law is to ring life into this world, to bring a new spirit into the earth plane. The second practice is to provide, to nurture the life you call forth, and to honor, to shield the mother who bears it. The third cycle, love and the summit. And the third law, the highest law, is to love the spirit of the child fiercely, to love the mother who is their shield completely, to love the divine life in all unconditionally. Spirit Talker shared declaration. This is the path. A child of God embodied is purpose fulfilled. The forbidden fruit is a composite of her entire being. It is her Fae, the raw essence of the female, her G, the godlike power of the girl, and her Woe, the profound influence of the woman. All these aspects transcend and are perfected in her form as a lady. To define these powers, the fae of the female is the physical flesh, the biological essence that nourishes and grows a fetus. The woe of a woman is the spiritual womb, the creative and life-harboring space where that flesh is formed. The G of a girl contains the sacred initials of both God and goddess, representing her inherent divine potential. This is why the effect of this fruit is so potent. For a male, the kryptonite is the phi, the primal, physical attraction of the female. But for a man, the true kryptonite is the woe, the deeper, spiritual and creative power of the woman, which holds a far greater influence. Once a male has tasted that forbidden fruit, it becomes incredibly difficult for him to become a gentleman. He becomes addicted to the woo of a woman and the fee of a female, hooked like a crackhead on crack. Do not ruin your opportunity and turn your future negative. A man is vulnerable because the woe of a woman is 10 times more powerful, multiplied by the wisdom in her manifesto. Her power is stronger still, for it is wisdom given to her by the Most High. Spirit Talker, the spoken thought. The fruit becomes forbidden when a woman shares herself with a man who hasn't yet become a gentleman. He won't know her as a lady, and she won't know him as a gentleman. The fruit will spoil. The fruit is only ripe when he accepts it as a gentleman. He must first earn the title of man, and she must unveil her woman. He must earn the male and her female. When he does this, he tastes the fruit without spoiling it. It becomes ripe, enjoyed properly by a lady and a gentleman. The right way to earn a goddess's fruit is through being a gentleman. Hear this, goddess, that man and male spirit living deep inside your female and woman. It is the sacred responsibility of a male and man to earn that love, to truly love you, right? Once he does that work, once you know he sees it, he has to fulfill that man and male power inside your woman and female core. Then, and only then, do you open your heart, commit to him fully in your lady stage. Why? Because he has become a gentleman. So remember, only accept a gentleman's last name, never just a man's. Hear now the sacred path, the earth purpose for heaven's children. First L, labor for the divine and the earth walkers. First P, parent every child of God. Second L, ring life deep into the earth soil. Second P, provide for the life spark called forth. Provide for the vessel who bears it. Third L, love fierce the breath within the God-child. Love fierce the mother shield who guards it. Love fierce the spirit seed itself. This child of God manifest equals purpose embodied. Spirit Talker. Please subscribe. Talk to my Spirit YouTube. The fruit becomes forbidden when a woman shares herself with a man who hasn't yet become a gentleman. He won't know her as a lady, and she won't know him as a gentleman. The fruit will spoil. The fruit is only ripe when he accepts it as a gentleman. He must first earn the title of man, and she must unveil her woman. He must earn the male and her female. When he does this, he tastes the fruit without spoiling it. It becomes ripe, enjoyed properly by a lady and a gentleman. The right way to earn a goddess's fruit is through being a gentleman. Hear this, goddess, that man and male spirit living deep inside your female and woman. It is the sacred responsibility of a male and man to earn that love, to truly love you, right? Once he does that work, once you know he sees it, he has to fulfill that man and male power inside your woman and female core. Then, and only then, do you open your heart, commit to him fully in your lady stage. Why? Because he has become a gentleman. So remember, only accept a gentleman's last name, never just a man's. Hear now the sacred path, the earth purpose for heaven's children. First L, labor for the divine and the earth walkers. First P, parent every child of God. Second L, ring life deep into the earth soil. Second P, provide for the life spark called forth. Provide for the vessel who bears it. Third L, love fierce the breath within the God-child. Love fierce the mother shield who guards it. Love fierce the spirit seed itself. This child of God manifest equals purpose embodied. Spirit Talker. Please subscribe. Talk to my Spirit YouTube.